Okay, so good morning, everybody. So, as everybody knows, I'm Rafael. So, I'm part of Group 4. I'm going to present to you a financial analysis of Spark. Our group is made of me, Alan, Eric, and Jaswinder Arden. So, next. So, as I said, I'm going to talk about Spark. So, everybody knows who is Spark, right? So Spark is the most important digital telecommunication group in New Zealand. Next. First of all, I want to show you what I'm going to present to you. I divided my presentation in two sections, in the introduction section, in the analysis section. In the introduction section, can you please? I'm going to talk about the company financial management and goals, objectives. I will talk a little bit of the products, market share, and suppliers, and the approach of the corporate governance and the social responsibility. In the second session, I will talk about the ratios analysis, year financial performance, if the company had an improvement or a deterioration based upon ratios analysis that I made, the impact of inflation or deflation in the business, and that will present a trend analysis as well. Let's start. So, a quick introduction about Spark. So, Spark was born in 1987, named as Telecom. And then in 2011, the company, due to some rules in New Zealand, the company had to change his name to Spark. And today, we use the name Spark for the group. Okay? Could you come back just a little bit?
Sorry.
Just to make clear, in 1987, Spark was a provider of the telephone lines, only that. But in the 2000 years, they started providing cell phones, broadbands, internet, and regarding the financial management and goals objective, we can say that Spark is a profitable company, and also all the investors seems to be satisfied with the results of the company. The company invests too much in technology because he want to be the most up-to-date digital communication provider in New Zealand. So they need to invest in technology, and the main financial goal is to be the most valued communication company provider in New Zealand in all aspects. When I say in all aspects, I mean financially and for the customers as well. Okay. Now, regarding the products, market, and suppliers. Today, what we have available in Spark is we have mobile plans, we have mobile phones, we have broadband product service and landline service. Landline is like when you have a phone in your house. Broadband is internet access. Mobile plans is when you have a mobile. When you have a mobile, you need a mobile service like a prepaid one or whatever. And they also sell mobile phones. Okay. Regarding the market share, so in New Zealand, Spark represents 37% of the market share of, and regarding its suppliers, we didn't have too many access to those details because it's a kind of restricted to the suppliers, and yeah, that's okay. I'm going to talk about the corporate governance and social responsibility. Regarding those topics, yeah, please. So all those topics are covered by ethics principles. In the website, you can find policies and guidelines for corporate governance and social responsibility, and they have 4 social programs to assure that all the Kiwis will be digital included in this world. Okay, let's see the ratios analysis. The first ratio analysis that I want to show you is the gross profit. Regarding this chart here, we can see that in 2020, we had 55% of gross profit ratio, and the lowest value that we had, it was 30% obtained in 2019. Né? We can see on this table here, we can see why we had different values. So, for example, in 2019, here on this line, we had this lowest value because we had a low gross profit. All those numbers here are represented in millions, okay? I didn't put them zeros, but they represent millions. And we had a high gross profit here in 2020 because we had a high gross profit regarding the other years. Okay, and the gross profit, sorry, that's okay. And the gross profit was calculated based on this formula here, which is gross profit divided by net sales multiplied by 100. The next ratio is the net profit ratio. As you can see here in the chart, in 2019 we had the lowest value, which was 90%, and the highest level was obtained in 2020, which was 32%. If you see here in the table again, so you can see how the numbers were along the years, and the ratio was obtained according to this formula here. So here regarding the lowest level that we had, the lowest value that we had, we obtained that again because the net profit in 2019 was the lowest one. That value influenced in the lowest result. So return on assets, as shown here in the graph in the chart again. So the highest value that we had, it was in 2020, which represents 3%. And the other ones, like between 2017, 2018, 19, we had the same values, 2% on return on assets. And in 2016, we had the same value as 2020. Again, you can see here the variation of the numbers, which caused those results here, and the ratio was obtained to this formula. Return on equity. Again, on this chart, we can see that the lowest level that we had, it was in 2017, and the highest in 2020. Again, it was obtained due to this formula here, and like in 2020, we had a high value for return on equity because we had a high value for net income, and we had a lowest value in 2017 because we had a lowest net income on that year. Liquidity ratios. On this ratio, I calculated the current ratio. So again, as seen here in the chart, the lowest level was obtained in 2017, which was 46%, and the highest it was in 2016, which was 83%. Again, the variation has occurred due to the variation of those numbers here, and I obtained those percentages based on this formula here. Regarding the liquidity ratios, I couldn't calculate the quick ratio because if you want to calculate the quick ratio, you need the inventory value, and the inventory value was not available in the Spark annual reports. Regarding time interest coverage, so again, you can see that from 2016 to 2019, the numbers are lower than 1. Only in 2020 we had a number higher than 1. That means that, I'm sorry, what that means if the company needs to pay its debt, only in 2020 they are able to do this like on time. And the variation occurred to do it to those numbers here and do it to this formula as well. Okay, one more next, please. So, asset utilization, one more. Asset utilization is calculated according to this formula here, but we couldn't do that because no inventory values were provided in the report. Next. The same has occurred with the average accounts receivable collection period. We didn't have access to receivable and credit sales, so we couldn't calculate those ratios here. Regarding DuPont ROE, return on equity, we comparing the last 2 years. In 2020 we had 22%, in 2019 we had 70%. I found those numbers according to this formula here, and if you compare the ROE that I made previously, you can see that the numbers match with the DuPont ROE. Okay, so that means that the both analysis work. Next. The DuPont ROA, I obtained 3% here and 2% here. Is it? Yeah. Anyway, the higher here and the lower is here. I can't say properly. And again, I found those numbers according to this formula here. And if you cross-check the ROA with the DuPont ROA, you can see that the numbers match. So I found the same numbers. The ratios analysis. Regarding the company performance, we concluded that the company has presented satisfactory results. Regarding if the company had improvement or deterioration in the last year, we see that the company had some improvement because the results have increased. Regarding inflation or the inflation impacts, we see that the company had some inflation because due to a lot of issues that we have in 2020, like some importation the costs of importation have increased because the products and services that Spark import are paid in US dollar, and due to a lot of situations the US dollar has changed a lot during 2020, so they had to increase some prices and they had some extra expenses. And to finish the trend analysis here, sorry. The trend analysis here, so this is the chart that I made. So I considered the year 2016 to 2020. Regarding the lines, we can see that the company is growing, like except here of course, but they are growing and they look profitable. And this is it. Any questions, guys?
Okay, thank you so much, Raphael. Any guys, do you have any questions?
No, it was so clear. It was really good. Yeah, really. I love it.
Okay, that's good. So no question?
It was clear, and I was surprised because the cell phone company during this year, I mean the last year, 2020, even though with the COVID, they have a stability and increase their profits. So people, they were using more that services.
Yeah, that's why they had to invest more, because they had to provide like up-to-date resources to the customers. So they put some more money, which resulted in more profit for the company.
Yeah, and also because inflation, so they take advantage of that as well. So I guess, so yeah.
I had to speed up a little bit due to the time, but yeah.
Yeah, but I would say overall well done, Raphael. Very impressive because it's like you present in a very clear and concise way for us to understand. but we do have several things you need to pay attention, okay? So first thing, yes, when you talk about financial goals, you need to make it as the SMART goals, because right now it's like you don't really make the goals very specific. How you just mentioned is like they want to be the most valued company, but how it really related back to the financial goals, you need to make it clear. Huh?
Yeah, that's the problem, because we read all the pages in the website and we couldn't find an answer for that. So we just made up what we understood about what we had read.
Yeah, so definitely you feel free to formulate the financial goals
because it
by
was
yourself.
not clear in the website.
But again, it's like when we talk about SMART, which means you need to give it a time frame. For example, this is the financial goals for example, these 2 years or for 3 years. And then it's like, would they want to, for example, increase the profit, for example, by 30%? Like you need to get this kind of SMART goals, okay? Be very specific. This is thing. And then is like when you calculate for the ROA under the ratio analysis, it's better for you to keep the 2 decimal place, because right now it's like it's 3%, 2%, 2%, 3%, which means there's no differences. Huh? So better for you to keep maybe 2 decimal place, you can show the differences. Okay? And then it's like when you calculate for the current ratio, it should not be in the percentage formatting. It should be just in ratio. Okay? Yeah, in ratio. And the rule of thumb is 2, isn't it? The rule of thumb for current ratio is 2. Okay? Yeah.
Higher or lower.
Yeah, you need to compare with that rule of thumb.
I wrote that in the analysis in the report.
Okay. And then when we move to the DuPont analysis, okay, so you show us the breakdown stage, right, of the DuPont models for ROE and ROA. What you need to do here is you need to show us each calculated result for this breakdown stage.
I put in the report. I didn't bring to the presentation because I had to. I didn't want to make a long presentation, but I put in the report.
Okay, yeah. So you have to show us, okay? Yeah, because why we need to show this like separate calculated results, right? This is because we want to find out what are the main reasons resulted maybe the increase or decrease, right, of ROE and ROA. And this is how you'll be able to show, right, which variable resulted in that. Okay, this is one thing. And then it's like for the interpretation for your, let's say, several there's those aspects about maybe the analysis for the ratios, and definitely can be in more depth. Okay, because right now it's quite general. And for your trend analysis, good for you to show us this chart, but you do also, it will get better if you can do some forecasting as well, because we all know trend analysis can do forecasting, right? Yeah, so that'll be great. Okay, but overall well done. Okay, thank you very much.